Jim Plunkett is back, using his weapons wisely, like that pass to the speedster Cliff Branch. And this incredible play, 4th down, seconds left against San Diego. Pass to Raymond Chester, tied the game. And there is still another weapon acquired in a trade with Houston. The young man from Oklahoma, number 33, Kenny King. So Oakland, as always, is a dangerous, challenging team. Hello again, everyone. It's good to have you with us. We're up tonight. I'm Howard Cosell. We're bringing you the greatest pro football rivalry of the 70s moving into the 80s. The Raiders against the Pittsburgh Steelers. You remember the 70s, the immaculate reception of Franco Harris, the George Atkinson hit on Lynn Swann, the resultant lawsuit. These teams don't like one another, but Oakland, off its victory against San Diego last week, is established this team can beat anybody on any given day. This is a key game, and the standings prove it. The AFC Central. Pittsburgh, again, always in a dogfight with Houston and Cleveland, and Cincinnati still not to be discounted. And then the AFC West. San Diego hanging on by a game over Seattle. A win for Oakland tonight puts them right in the chase. Now, let's get the game started with the Giffer.
And so many great games over the past decade between these two teams. There is no love lost between them. They come out to play. Many of the players have changed, but the feeling it always, well, it sort of filters down from players that have been here before in these great contests. As you can see, the Pittsburgh Steelers have won the toss. They've elected to receive, of course, set to kick off. Chris Barr, another great story. Chris Barr kicks, of course, for the Oakland Raiders. His brother, Matt Barr, kicks for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're looking at Frank Pollard, a rookie from Baylor, 11th round draft pick. He's dropped deep for the Steelers. And a kickoff time is 46 degrees, expected to go down into the low 30s today in Pittsburgh. But a beautiful night for football, sellout crowd, and we're underway. Chris Barr bangs it. Pollard steps up to the 2, looking for his wedge. And a big opening for Pollard as he bangs out over the 30-yard line, getting up to the 33-yard line. And let's meet that offensive unit. Of course, Terry Bradshaw, perhaps the best quarterback to come along in many, many years in professional football. Franco Harris, we are told, will not start. He possibly could play. There basically are two rookie running backs, Greg Hawthorne, number 27, Russell Davis, number 45. We told you about the wide receivers. There's an offensive line yet that has never come together for the Steelers this year, beleaguered as they have been with many injuries. But the Steelers, 1st and 10, the ball at their own 33-yard line of Bradshaw, immediately to the air. Firing, and it goes to Theo Bell, and Theo Bell has a first down out over the 45 to the 47. Theo Bell in there in place of Lynn Swann. It was Burgess Owens defensively for the Oakland Raiders.
Two things I think this does. It kind of verifies what Terry said. It's not going to affect my passing game that much. He has great confidence in his wide receivers. Theo Bell just went down around a very simple sort of turn-in route. Terry, a little quick fake-off tackle. First down of the game, picked him up a first yard. First down, that's what it was, first down.
Theo Bell in there for Swann. That was only his 13th reception in 4 years as a pro with the Steelers. Again, first down. Quickly, it goes out to Greg Hawthorne. Hawthorne with a big opening. Breaking tackles down to the 37-yard line. The Steelers suddenly striking on 2 first down completions by Terry Bradshaw. Tom Flores in his 2nd year with the Oakland Raiders looking on as defensive captain Ted Hendricks moves to the sidelines, and we'll be back.
I make one trick shot in a light beer commercial, and everybody thinks they know how to shoot pool. So these guys decided to take me on to shoot a little pool and drink a little light beer from Miller, because it's less filling.
Tastes great!
Less filling.
Let's quit talking and start chalking.
You break, Bubba.
Sure, I haven't broken anything all day.
Hey, Mickey, what happened?
It's a mystery to me.
You show him, Rodney.
Yeah, show him.
You guys got me all wrong. I think light tastes great, too. But when you're shooting pool, the only thing you want to get filled up is the pocket. 14 ball. 6 ball. Combination.
Steve, how do you do that?
Practice, practice, practice.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
First down 10. The ball just inside the 20-yard line. Bradshaw again on first down to the air. Looking for Smith in the end zone. Touchdown. Jim Smith makes his 7th touchdown catch of the year. Smith has stepped in for Stallworth in the second week. He has been spectacular, and the Steelers have moved for a touchdown in their very first possession.
They look awfully sharp so far. That passing game, they haven't run much. He indicated that in that opening little interview. He says, it's not going to affect my passing game much, so he's going to go at it. These guys are terrific.
He was really frightened by the opposition, isn't he?
Well, I think he knows what he can do. I've never, you know, I've known Terry for a good long while, but this is his 11th season, and he does have tremendous confidence with what he can do on the field, and he knows his personnel well. He's got great confidence in all of his receivers as Matt Barr kicks the extra point, and it's 7-zip. Jim Smith came in. You know, you've got Stallworth and Swan, the receiver. How in the world are you going to say, I want to go play for these guys? But here's a guy from Michigan, as we talked about.
Working against Don, the man that the Oakland Raiders feels is their best defensive man, one-on-one, Lester Hayes.
Frank, did you see Smith leap in the manner of Lynn Swan? Almost exactly like him. That's the way they are.
Well, this is Whittington, who bobbles the ball at the 5.
Got some speed.
And the Steelers swarm Whittington under at the 15-yard line. Dennis Winston down there early for the Steelers. Let's meet the offensive unit. At quarterback, of course, Jim Plunkett, number 16. A great story in this game. Given up really after the 77 season with the 49ers released. The Raiders brought him back. And he, of course, started last week in a big win over the San Diego Chargers. Raymond Chester, of course, is the tight end. As we look at Dan Pastorini, who damaged his knee and broke a tibia bone in his leg against Kansas City a couple of weeks ago. Of course, Pastorini came to Oakland in a straight-up swap for the Raiders' longtime quarterback Ken Stabler. Plunkett from his own 15-yard line. Inside handoff. Mark Van Egan swarmed under defensively by the Pittsburgh Steelers, who also will alternate considerably defensively, primarily at their right tackle spot where Gary Dunn and Steve Furness alternate. Let's take a look at the front 4 of the Steelers. There they are. It'll be 67 often coming in there for Steve Furness. There are your linebackers. Probably none better in the business than number 59, Jack Ham. And that secondary, well, they have one of the fine cornerbacks in Mel Blount, number 47. Van Egan picks up a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. The ball at the 16-yard line. Plunkett puts Chandler out to the right, and will go to the air. Plunkett has the time, and he goes to Chandler. Good defensive play by Johnson, and a flag is down, and we are probably going to have pass interference. 2 officials on that target. Just 3rd down and 3. Ball at the 27-yard line. King gets the call. Big opening on the outside. Look out.
There's that speed they want. There's that speed they want. We got a ball game.
King in for a 27-yard touchdown. Turn the corner. You saw the size of the man. He's up there around 2'5", 2'7", and yet he can really crank it when he wants to.
What a trade by Al Davis in getting Kenny King. You got to give him credit as you look at it again. I told you if you thought Oakland was out of it, you're crazy.
You know too much. I'll tell you what they did that time. They caught Ham on the inside. Donnie Shell didn't really, I don't think he realized how fast Kenny King was. He got him to the inside and bounced out. A lot of that was done on just sheer ability. Good speed to the outside by Kenny King.
Last year, Kenny King with Houston carried the ball 3 times. Playing behind Earl Campbell, of course. This is Chris Barr. And Chris Barr puts the Oakland Raiders back in the game. They're down by 3. We have 7:22 remaining in the first quarter. And there is Kenny King. 138 yards last week, and he's off to another start tonight. We'll be back in a moment. 2nd down, less than a yard to go. Hawthorne hurdles into the end zone, and the Steelers have scored once again. And what an offensive show you're seeing tonight. The Pittsburgh Steelers, playing with a lot of injured football players, have moved the ball almost at will up and down the field.
And they know they have to win tonight. Chuck Noll really gave it to him. He said, you played 1 quarter of football against the Bengals. We've got to get back to playing football. Frank told you earlier, you 2nd-string guys, you're going to have to prove yourselves. Right now, they're doing a long way to go, though.
Here's Matt Barr. The punter, Craig Colquitt, is the holder for the Steelers. Barr drills the conversion. And the Steelers extend their lead over the Oakland Raiders in one of the oldest rivalries we have seen in the AFC. They do not like each other. We'll be back in a moment. Jim Plunkett.
1 for 7 for 8.
That's it. Dangerous throw, bad statistics for Jim, and yet perhaps misleading. Give him protection. I think you'll see the old Plunkett.
But
He's proved it.
You're also seeing a really strong pressing defense. They are lining up the way you see his stats from a week ago, and that was a good statistical game for him on TD. But tonight, I think he's going to see that kind of pressure all night long. He's got to hit real quick passes to get him off of him.
3rd down 9. Plunkett out of the pocket and fires into the end zone.
Yeah.
Close to it is Chandler. Bob Chandler goes up at the 1-yard line, and he was wrestled down by Mike Wagner, number 23, short of the end zone, and Oakland is threatening.
There was Chandler, the gifted veteran, who has an uncanny way of being loose.
It's J.T. Thomas is the guy back there, number 24, who misjudges this. You'll see him come into the screen. He's working on Wagner, cuts to the inside, made a good move on Wagner, left him out there.
He really did.
Into the screen, she comes right now. Is an ill-timed jump. You saw Thomas had position, but it was off balance. The ball was thrown. I think maybe Plunkett's move to the line of scrimmage froze him a little bit, because
Christensen would not play tight end for Landry. Absolutely refused. He's agreed. With Oakland, Davis thinks he's got a great future.
Either that or another career. And the man with the ball is Van Egan. The Steelers, Joe Green, says no. They did not get in, and this has got to be a great lift for the Steelers defense, because they have been much maligned. He's coming into this game. Oh, they do give it to him.
I imagine he made it on his own. They just couldn't get in there and see, but he's got that ball right there on the goal line.
He went in like a groundhog, and we've got some football game.
There is hesitancy on the part of the officials, and all of a sudden we get the call. Van Egan, let's look again.
I still think, Frank, that Steeler defense, you can see him pushing in there. It's hard to tell from this angle, but that ball's on the goal line. But still, they held him. They made him go 4 times for 1 yard, so that's still a pretty good indication that defense is strong.
Well, what the whole series proves, fellas, is you can't give Oakland an inch. One Bradshaw mistake, the turnover, the Hendricks intercept, we've got a ball game.
Chris Barr on for the conversion. Oakland set to draw within 3. Nevertheless, still a great defensive effort on the part of the Steelers down there. 1st and goal, the Raiders had it at the 1. It took them 4 downs to get in. And Oakland moves to within 3 of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we have 5:22 remaining in the first half. Tough football game. Van Egan just squeaking in for the Oakland touchdown. We'll be back. Rocky Blyer comes in. He's a good receiver. He wears number 20, of course. And 3 wide receivers are in for Bradshaw on the 3rd and 12. Alvin Sweeney in there, number 85, with Jim Smith and Theo Bell.
Little blitz. Here they come. Look out.
Bradshaw will go down at the 35-yard line. Cedric Hardman was there, and they bobbled the ball in. Sprinting towards the end zone, number 53. That's Rod Martin.
And they
the
got
Raiders have turned it around, and Bradshaw is shaken up. Bradshaw, who was sacked by Cedric Hardman, coughed up the ball. Rod Martin picked it up, went into the end zone, and the Raiders are on top.
Things were going along so smoothly. All of a sudden, he got a lot of pressure from the outside. I hope it's no more than just having the breath knocked out of him. Let's see if we can take another look at it.
They forced Bradshaw out of the pocket and watched number 86, Cedric Hardman.
There he's got him.
He's had a career of doing that.
And there is a handoff from Willie Jones to Rod Martin.
That's
and
good
Martin
thinking.
takes it in. The story at the moment, a stunned stadium looking on their feet. Bradshaw is still on the carpet.
If this had happened yesterday, it would have been our most unusual play at halftime. Look at this.
You saw, John Cole, that's a tough lick, man. John Kolb is the guy number 55. Bradshaw is still down. Kolb is playing for his first game in, about, I think, 4 or 5 weeks.
On the
couldn't tell.
It's Cliff Stout warming up. 2nd down and 10. They stay in the 3-4, but they can bring them all from that defense. Stout back. Firing into the hands of Hendricks once again. Pass intended for Smith, and Hendricks has another turnover, and the ball close to midfield, and Oakland will have 2 timeouts, 1:45 remaining in the first half to extend their lead.
Oh, boy.
Frank couldn't have told you at a better time about the constancy of Pittsburgh mistakes. He was talking primarily about fumbles, and yet this kind of thing has plagued them too. Because in every game, as we take an end zone look that Terry has played, he has had both a touchdown pass and an intercept. Now this is Stout with an intercept that should give Oakland, with any luck, field goal position.
3rd down 7. Plunkett steps into the pocket.
Look out.
Firing deep is
Look out.
for Bradshaw.
Oh.
Touchdown, and Jim Plunkett again in trouble. Steps back into the pocket, and Morris Bradshaw comes up with 6.
We told you at the beginning of the telecast that Plunkett is back. We told you when he was 1 for 7, the figures were deceptive. Yes, Jim Plunkett is back.
That here to me is the key. Watch Plunkett right here under pressure. Good strong move. Oops, to the inside. That last little second gave him time. And Bradshaw's going right down the middle. Actually, the ball was thrown over the other shoulder, but Morris Bradshaw made a pretty good adjustment.
One of the toughest things a receiver can do.
Sure is, but touchdown, touchdown.
Oakland looked like it was going to be a Steeler runaway in the first quarter. And Oakland, utilizing the turnover, has taken a commanding lead. They lead 28-17. 1:22 remaining in the first half, and this crowd, capacity crowd, is stunned. They really are. 17 seconds on the clock. 2nd down and about a yard to go. Ball resting at the 12-yard line. Down. Fires, and it's down to the 1-yard line, and Smith tries to put it in the end zone.
What an effort.
And now they're saying, there's some ranting and raving about this one.
There will be.
Now, how do you like that, Cliff Stout?
I like
Oh,
Smith.
did he come through? What a game this is.
I'll tell you, that sets up the second half.
Oh,
Cliff Stout, very cool. He had no timeouts. I'm surprised, really, that Chuck Noll would let him do that. But he found Jim Smith, who's just been spectacular in relief of Stallworth. Stallworth, of course, hurt in the second game of this season. And Smith gets it in the end zone. Touchdown, and out comes Matt Barr. 10 seconds remaining in the half.
What an effort by Smith to get that ball on the goal line.
that was unbelievable.
He went to about 6'8" to get it in there. Barr brings it close. The Steelers now down by 4 as they battle back without their top defensive player, Jack Lambert, without their top quarterback, Terry Bradshaw. Van Egan, left side. As Oakland content to run out the clock, which they do. And a wild and woolly first half ends with the Raiders on top, 28-24. Stick around for this one. It's going to be interesting. Pittsburgh took the ball the length of the field to put the first points on the scoreboard. It looked like a Pittsburgh Steeler runaway. Steelers put 4 men in the rush. Plunkett hangs it for Branch. He's there. Oh! Plunkett, who hit Branch a week ago for 43 yards, has hit for 56 yards again to the speedy Cliff Branch, and Plunkett is having himself a night.
That one was perfectly thrown. Mel Blount was out there. It appeared that there was a slight hesitation. Mel, I don't know whether he looked to the inside and saw Dirt Winston back there. That was Dirt Winston all the way back, the middle linebacker. See number 53, he takes off running. I don't know whether Mel thought he had some help coming from the inside or not, but it's a beautifully thrown ball. Cliff Branch is right there.
It all. He's got his poise back. He's got his confidence back. Too early at touchdown passes, as you take still another look, were thrown when the man was in trouble. Yes, he's back.
And that was all pro Mel Blount on the coverage.
Did it look to you, Frank, that he was looking for help from the inside or something, and he just wasn't in a very good position for him? That's awfully.
Drills it through the uprights, and Oakland extends their lead as quickly. We have more points on the scoreboard. 12:36 remaining in the third quarter. The Raiders 35, the Steelers 24. 7:20 remaining in the third quarter. Bradshaw. Man is open as Bell.
Touchdown.
Touchdown. Bell. Third down and 21. And slipping and falling was Monty Jackson back there pursuing Bell. I don't know whether he could knock it away or not. He never had the opportunity. He fell. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Do you believe this game?
I can't believe that throw.
If the conversion is good, it'll be 35-31. We will have had 66 points. Let's look at an end zone replay.
Again, look at the mobility. He got him moving. He missed. That was Browning, came through there. Fell down. The ball's again right on the money. Theo almost went out of bounds, but he tiptoed through for 6.
To the Tulips.
That was Monty Jackson that we saw go number 42. He says, how in the world did I trip?
Here's Matt Barr for the conversion. Colquitt gets it down to the uprights, and the Steelers are back in it once again. What a scoring football game we have tonight. 32-yard attempt. The holder is Colquitt. The center is Mike Webster.
Matt has had some tough problems of late. Hit the goal post a couple times and barely missed one. And I think he just missed another.
Matt Barr drills it through the uprights.
That's close.
That is his 12th field goal out of 12 attempts from inside the 30. On first down, Plunkett will put it in the air again. Under pressure, and he goes to Branch again. Branch has another first down. He's down to the 38-yard line, stopping the clock with 12:10 in the fourth quarter. Now Chandler and Branch are both aligned, as you see, to the right. Bottom of your screen is Chandler, in the slot is Cliff Branch. Plunkett feels the pressure.
Oh, what a
pass! Under tremendous blitzing pressure. It caused man-on-man coverage, and Cliff Branch was there, and Plunkett put it to him.
Oh, now that is lovely.
I'll tell you, I don't believe the way this man has played today.
That was really lovely. Maximum pressure, had people all over him, threw the ball, and again, the ball could have been thrown much better. Cliff Branch, with his speed, had a step or two behind. Let's look at it again. Van Egan's going to pick up a block in here. That's really important. But they didn't pick them all up, and you saw him get hit by Robin Cole, number 56, just as he released it. One step on Donnie Shell, and you got 6 points.
And what's beautiful about this is the human drama, because it shows what the human spirit can do. And Jim Plunkett typifies it. It's a great, great performance.
Let's go back once again. I said it earlier in '78 when Plunkett had been released by the 49ers. He was signed by the Raiders. They told him, we don't expect you to play a lot. You just spend a year, which he did without playing one moment in '78. He spent the entire year just getting the confidence back that he had lost.
Good concentration by Cliff Branch there.
And as you always do, you get a one-on-one situation with the blitz. Plunkett was able to read it, stayed cool, delivered to Branch, who had beaten Donnie Shell. Will be back as Chris Barr makes an attempt of 36 yards. The brothers Barr kicking tonight. Chris, of course, for Oakland. Matt Barr, of course, for the Steelers. And Chris drills it through 36 yards. And the Oakland Raiders have 45 on the scoreboard. The Steelers have 34, 58 seconds remaining in this game. We'll be back in a moment.
An impressive performance, regardless of the Pittsburgh injuries, by an Oakland team that is clearly, as Davis puts it, in transition.
Hey, in consecutive weeks, you knock off San Diego, knock off the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're not in transition. You're there. And there it is. The Raiders win another one. 2 consecutive weeks they've knocked off prime contenders for the Super Bowl. Once again, the final score, Oakland 45, the Pittsburgh Steelers 34. Remember to stay tuned after your local news for ABC News Nightline over most of these ABC stations. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United flies more people to Hawaii than any other airline. That's what friendly skies are all about. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television. The Raiders over the Steelers 45-34.